Okay, so welcome to this edition of the Member Spotlight. We're joined by Lerner. She's been training with us for over a year and a half. She is a jurist in family court. As you can see the flag behind her. Being very patriotic, or at least, what is it called for New York State? Still patriotic, right? I don't know.
Yes.
So Lauren, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Lauren also has two boys who train with us as well, Reese and Jackson. They're amazing. We're still working on Steve, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Steve and I are proof positive that opposites attract. Very different.
So yeah, we appreciate not only Lauren's time and her hard work and dedication, but also her acerbic sense of humor. It's really helped get us through the last few months of craziness. So first question, this is an easy one. Favorite exercise and why?
Outside of the gym, bike riding. I'm a huge bike rider. Love to bike ride. When the weather's nice, I love to bike ride and be outside. For years, I've been bike riding. Since 2012, I've been a huge bike rider. So if I can be outside riding my bike, that's really my absolute favorite thing to do. But when we're in the gym, as much as I joke around, I do enjoy doing squats. And I know I complain about it all the time. And you and I have a joke that it's been the summer of squats, but I do enjoy doing them because it actually has helped me with my other favorite exercise, which is bike riding, and made me a lot stronger in increasing my time on my splits with bike riding.
That's amazing. That's amazing. What kind of mental space do you get into when you bike ride? Does that really help you kind of relax and zone out and just kind of knock everything out? How does that feel?
Yeah, I call it my happy place. Like, everybody knows that's my happy place. I started bike riding in 2012 as a fundraiser for a Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. I signed up to do a century ride. I trained to do that, and after that, I did other long rides, really 150, 63 miles, and I've continued to ride since then. And when I'm on my bike, all I think about is riding. I block everything else out. Don't think about anything else. It's the only time I feel like my head is completely clear.
Mm-hmm. That's great. No, we all need that. We all need that happy place for sure, especially these last few months. So when you came to start training with us in January of 2019, what was the biggest fear or obstacle that was in your way at that point before you got started with our exercise program?
I had gained a lot of weight before I came to the gym. And it was the heaviest I had ever weighed. So I was really out of shape at that point. And that was my biggest challenge, was trying to get back into shape. I didn't feel great. I felt really unhealthy, and that was really the biggest. I had hit a wall, and I needed to just kind of start from rock bottom, because for pretty much most of my adult life prior to that, I had been in pretty good shape. So it was really difficult for me to kind of start all over again.
Mm-hmm. What were you afraid of?
Just putting the work in again. You know, I knew what it's like to be in good, decent shape. And having the time, putting in the work, starting over again, I knew it was going to be a challenge.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel that we were able to help you break through that wall and overcome that?
Great. I feel great. It was a very welcoming environment. I also had friends Reese was already training at the time, so I knew you guys and how it worked, because I had seen, classes going on, picking him up and dropping him off. I knew people that were members at the gym already, so I knew what the atmosphere was like. And everybody was very welcoming from the beginning. And there was people of all shapes and sizes that were there training at the gym. So I knew it was a very welcoming atmosphere before I started training.
Mm-hmm. Now, in terms of your results, everyone who's watching at home, make sure you're sitting down. Can you tell us how much weight you've lost since January of 2019?
51 pounds.
That's incredible. Incredible job. What do you think was the biggest key to your success?
Commitment and consistency.
Mm-hmm.
I was very consistent about going. I made sure, even when I wasn't at the gym, because I didn't have the time, I was working out at home. When we would go away, I had the workouts that you had on the app that I used. I was very, very consistent. I was working out probably 5 days, at least 5 days a week. It wasn't always crazy, you know, but always getting up and always moving, doing something.
Right. No, and that's something that a lot of people struggle with, is that they think if they run out of time or they get stuck in traffic and they can't make it to the gym, well, I guess that means I missed my workout today. But you were smart enough to figure out that it doesn't have to be that way. Just
Right.
getting some movement in is going to help. That's great. What about nutrition? What have you learned about that?
I was never really a bad eater. It was just I wasn't really exercising as much as I should have been exercising. But what I was doing was eating on the run a lot. The time prior to joining the gym, when I had gained a lot of weight, my mom was sick, and Jackson had gotten into an accident and had to have multiple surgeries. So I wasn't sitting down and eating a meal. I was eating on the run a lot, and it's hard to make good choices when you're eating out a lot or on the run. I'm not a big fast food eater at all, but a lot of times I was getting my meals out because I didn't have a choice, because I was at the hospital or, you know, things, I wasn't home. So just by circumstance, I didn't have a choice. I didn't have healthy choices to necessarily make. Now I'm home, especially during the pandemic. I was home for, I think, 12 or 14 weeks. I'm back at work now, but I cooked every single meal during that time. We didn't even order in, even when it was an option. I like to cook. I love to cook. I'm really, really lucky. I have kids that would eat anything that you put in front of them, literally anything. Vegetables are not an issue with them. You know, they ask for salads and vegetables and things like that. So I cook a lot of vegetables, and we always have tons of fruit in the house. And so I've been really, really conscientious during, especially this time period, of making sure that we always had healthy food in the house, no junk food. And my kids, they don't even miss junk food really when it's not in the house. So I'm very conscientious. And Jackson has type 1 diabetes and celiac, so we're careful about what food we have in the house because of that also.
Mm-hmm. Now, can I send you my kids for a couple of weeks so you can learn how to eat all healthy food? Because I have the opposite problem. They only eat like 3 different things, and that's it.
Yeah.
We're working on it. Okay, so what sort of, I mean, you've accomplished an incredible amount. I'm sure you want to keep going. What kind of goals have you set for yourself, you know, going forward?
I'd like to maybe lose 10 more pounds, but I'm not really focused on the numbers. I wasn't the whole time. I was really surprised actually when I went to the endocrinologist, because I have a thyroid issue also, which is a challenge in trying to lose weight. And I was really surprised when I got on the scale and it was that much weight. I was really surprised. So just to maintain my health and to make sure that I continue to work out, continue to eat healthy, I signed up again to do the juvenile diabetes ride, although it's virtual because we can't. They usually do it in 5 different locations across the country. Last time I did it in Burlington, Vermont, which was crazy because of the hills. But I'm going to do it virtually, and I've been riding a lot to get ready. And in September, I'll do it by myself somewhere around in Queens. I committed to do 50 miles. I don't know if I'm ready to do a century, but I'll ride the 50 miles by myself. So I committed to that. I like to have a goal. Like if I have a goal, then if I don't do it, I feel bad. You know, that I committed. So everybody knows it's out there. I'm doing it, and I'm doing fundraising also for JDRF, which I feel good about. So that's my goal, is to ride that 50 miles, continue to maintain my health. And, during this time too, when I had my appendix out also, and there was a full 6-week period where I couldn't even work out, and I didn't let that get me down either.
Mm-hmm.
You hit walls and you face challenges, and you just kind of got to roll with the punches.
Yeah. No, I think your approach is spot on. If you get on the scale every day and it's not moving, it's easy to get frustrated. So just don't focus on that. If an obstacle comes up, realize that life happens, and, it will pass, and you'll get back in the saddle, back on your bike, back in the gym. And I think that's exactly right. These past few months though, obviously the gym has been closed for in-person training. Everyone's working out at home. Could have been very easy for any of us to lose our motivation and to kind of fall off track. What kept you going through that? What did you learn about yourself during that time?
I use it as an opportunity to work out more. Almost every morning I worked out with you online, and I was so appreciative that we still had the opportunity to do that you were offering the live stream classes. I had Jackson with me, and we worked out together, and we had a lot of fun doing it together. It's more fun when you have somebody, to work out with. So at least I had him. I think if I was by myself, it would have been a little, I wouldn't have been as motivated. Or I mean, I would have done it, but I probably wouldn't have looked as much forward to it. I looked forward to having him with me, particularly since he's going away to college in a couple of weeks. We got to spend quality time together working out. And I remember that last day that we were in the gym before it closed, I was joking around with Asia, actually. And I said, I'm either going to use this time to get jacked, which, I'm not jacked, but I definitely used the time to work out. To either get jacked, or I'm just going to use the time to drink my sorrows away, like joking around. And I really used the time to my advantage to work out. And I happen to have a Peloton bike at home also. So I would ride my Peloton or take class with you. And I really felt like it was an opportunity to spend time with my family and focus on us and use it to our advantage.
It's fantastic. Exactly the right approach. That's amazing. What would you say, is there anything, you mentioned actually using this as an opportunity to work out more than you were able to before when it was only an in-person experience. Is there anything that you learned about fitness and exercise that you'll want to carry forward even when gyms do open back up and we have an in-person option as well? Anything that would continue to be helpful even when we're allowed to go back?
That I have the capacity to do it, to do things on my own, even if I can't get to the gym, and that I have the tools that the app that you have. And I learned a lot about how to do the workouts by being home by myself and following along the workouts. I learned how to do things that I didn't know how to do before by doing them at home.
Wow, that's tremendous. Lauren, congratulations on your success, and I know it will be continued success.
Thank you very much.
I'm really proud of you. The whole team is, everyone, you're an inspiration. You have exactly the right attitude, and I think that it shows in your results.
Thank you, and thank you guys for everything that you've done and that you offered us, particularly during this time, and being able to help us all during the time of the shutdown. Yeah. It was great.
No, of course, it's been our pleasure. We've learned a lot too, and to be honest, I think when we come out of this, we'll have a far better program than we ever had before.
I think so too.
So I appreciate it. Good luck being back at work, and I hope to. I know I'll see you on the computer screen again, but I hope to see you in person at some point.
Yes.
All right. Thanks again, Lauren. Take care.
Thanks, Ken. You too.